Good Wednesday morning, family. Today's Passion Week lesson is on Wednesday. Wednesday is the day of the story of Judas Iscariot was deceived by Satan and planned to betray Christ. And so for us to know this story, we have to start with the book of Mark, chapter 1 through 2, and we're going to see some things done in private in what we call the darkness. And so in Mark 14:1, the story goes like this. It was now 2 days before the Passover and the feast of unleavened bread, and the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to arrest him by stealth and kill him. Stealth meaning in private, sneaky. For they said, not during the feast, lest there be an uproar from the people. See, what was being planned out here in the darkness, in private, was to arrest Jesus and kill him. This was being done by the scribes and the priests in a very sneaky manner. We call this, doing this behind closed doors. And so this story leads us to the story of Wednesday, where it is the day that Judas Iscariot was deceived by Satan and he himself planned to betray Jesus. We know Jesus was someone close to Jesus, a close friend. We know Judas was one of the 12 disciples. We know that Judas was loved by Jesus until the end. And so we read the account in Luke chapter 22, verse 3 to 6. I'm going to read this for you guys. You will also find this account in Mark 14, 10 through 11. But Luke 22, 3, 6 reads like this. Again, this is the Passion Week lesson for Wednesday. It says, verse 3, Then Satan entered into Judas called Iscariot, who was one of the number of 12. He went away and conferred with the chief priests and officers how he might betray him to them. And they were glad and agreed to give him money. So he consented and sought an opportunity to betray him to them in the absence of a crowd. Notice, not only did the chief priests and scribes plan this in private, plan this in secret, plan this behind closed doors, Judas himself, this is when Satan entered his heart, he also went in the absence of a crowd at the end of verse 5. That means nobody knew. He did this in private. He tried to also do this in darkness or behind closed doors. And so we know that Judas himself was deceived when Satan filled his heart. What did Satan fill his heart with? Well, one of the things is greed. Greed, the idol of loving something greater than loving Jesus. See, greed is not just money. Greed is loving something more than Jesus. This could include our homes. This could include our family and our children. It can include our jobs. It can include our stature. It can include our degrees. It is loving something above loving Jesus. And so Jesus was deceived by Satan when Satan filled Judas's heart with greed. Judas betrayed Jesus for money. It said he betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver. This silver was worth more to Judas than Jesus was. Money was an idol for Judas. Now we know the end of the story of Judas. Judas eventually gave back the money. He was remorseful but never repentful. He grieved over betraying an innocent man, but he never believed in Jesus for his salvation. And he ended up killing himself because he, in essence, went crazy. And so what I want us to see is this evil that was conceived in the dark by the priests and the scribes is the evil that came to play out in the betrayal of Christ. This evil conceived in the dark by the priests and scribes is the evil that came to play out in the betrayal of Jesus. And this evil continued in the darkness of Jesus on the cross and even into the darkness of Jesus in the tomb. But notice, it came to light at the resurrection. You see, Satan did not win. According to Acts 2:23, this Jesus was delivered up according to the definite plan and foreknowledge of God, who they crucified and killed by the hands of lawless men. This was part of God's plan in order to save people from their sin. So you see, when evil is indeed evil, and even when things are done with evil intent, God can use them to bring forth good. So family, Don't let Satan deceive your heart. If you've not trusted Jesus for forgiveness of sins, trust Jesus. And if you're a follower of Jesus, trust him in all circumstances, even when it seems as if evil is coming against you. Because ultimately, it could be according to God's plan. Not that he is the creator of evil, but he does allow it. But ultimately, he will accomplish his good purposes for us. And don't ever forget, God has won. And he has promised something far greater than riches of this world. He has promised us the riches of eternity with him. So Passion Week lesson for Wednesday was Judas' betrayal. But ultimately, this led to the crucifixion, and it led to the resurrection, and it led to each one of our salvations. So God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I pray this encourages you guys. And again, put your faith in Christ for forgiveness of sins. He indeed will save you.